Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That is 22 flat.
Wow. That's really cool.
Hit the steel.
I missed.
Steel. Try the steel again.
Let's try steel again. Yeah, it's legit.
That's insanely quiet. Fans from Vbd-Retail, and today we are talking about the B&T Hush Puppy. Oh yeah, the Hush Puppy's not in here because I got a Hush Puppy in my pants. Correct, we are talking about the B&T Hush Puppy, which is a slide lock Glock with a short wipe suppressor. It is something a little bit different, something smaller, something you may not have seen before. Got its own little quirks and different things about it. And it's also concealable. Before we get into that, I want to talk about how we got this video rolling. And first off, we are not sponsored by Raytheon. They've not sent us Hellfire missiles or anything like that. I keep hearing it. Please stop saying it. We're not sponsored by Raytheon in any capacity. We are sponsored by Vbd-Retail. I know those guys pretty dang well, and they are the reason why we get the opportunity to test, beat up, and try stuff like this. I also want to say that these holsters that I got are from Close Quarters Carry. I've reached out to probably 5, maybe 6 different holster manufacturers, and none of them took on the task. One did, and then I just never heard back from him after 2 months. Reached out to Close Quarters Carries on a whim. He told me that he was quite backed up and it may take a minute. Then about 20 minutes later, he asked me for a few dimensions, like, you know, the suppressor measurements, how far it sits off of the slide, what kind of light I'd be using, and in under 2 hours, he had this done. And this thing is, it's got its clips on here. He came with some different stuff to put it on your belt on the waistband. It's drilled out for an Enigma, which is how I personally like to carry a lot of these bigger pistols. I actually used to carry this all the time. This is loose, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, why. But big shout out to Close Quarters Carry. You can adjust the retention on this, and he makes these in all sorts of different patterns, really for anything. I mean, he did not have one of these. He hasn't seen one of these, and somehow he managed to just build this, and it works so dang well. So thank you very much for that, and now that we got that out of the way, that let's get into this whole review. So, first things first, when you get yourself a Hush Puppy, you're getting yourself a Glock. But this Glock's a little bit different than other Glocks. You've got this slide lock on here, which effectively turns your pistol into a bolt action pistol. Why would you do that? We're going to get into that in a minute. Let's talk about some of the other features. This super low acro cut, which actually lets you co-witness, aim through and use your standard height sights that are on the slide. Now your rear sight is moved in front of the acro, but still, with that so low, it doesn't sit up high. It's easier to conceal. It's a very nice, comfortable height to use. Yada, yada, yada. You have a B&T marked barrel on here. And what you're also getting is the Hush Puppy suppressor itself, which comes in 2 stages, right? There's the short one, which has 1 baffle in it and uses 2 wipes. And then there's this extension, which you could use. Personally, I like to see the extension as more of a wipe reload. And why do you need a wipe reload? Well, once we start talking about wipes, we'll get a little bit more into detail with that. You're also getting this absolutely fancy case, which is a Condition 1 case cut out to fit the handgun. Comes with spare mags, tool for your aim point. This one came with 2 boxes of Hush Puppy ammo. I don't know if they'll continue to be coming with that. your little end cap tool. Overall, it's just a really nice package. When you open this thing up, you feel like you're some sort of secret agent. You've got a purpose. For the money, you know, it's a really nice touch. Now, the name Hush Puppy, I guess originated in some sort of Louisiana kitchen about these little fried kind of cornmeal balls, whatever. I'm going to go with that story. Don't look too much into it, where the name came from. If you like food, then you'll like the Hush Puppy. But let's talk more about the Hush Puppy itself. So why would you want to slide lock the pistol? Well, first, you can run this thing semi if you wanted to, right? You have that thing up, and this thing will just cycle like a normal pistol. Now, if you end up pushing this down, you're essentially turning your pistol into a bolt action. It locks the slide forward. You have to manually push it up, pull it back, and lock it again if you want to keep running it like that. Why would you do that? Well, whenever you fire a semi-automatic weapon and you're trying to suppress it, gases are coming out of the suppressor and gases are also coming out of your action right here. So when you slide lock it, it's going to make the gun itself quieter. Also, since this is a wipe suppressor, typically people use ablative materials to quiet it down. I'll go a little bit more into detail with that, but when you use stuff like that, it gets messy. Oftentimes, a lot of that material, when your gun is cycling, likes to blow back into your face. So, to counteract that, just lock the slide. You're going to have a quieter shot, and you're not going to have all of that grime blowing back into your face. These are some used wipes. Don't know how much life we still got left in them, but let's see how they run semi. Subs. Supers. Let's get into what a wipe suppressor is and why. So, this is a wipe suppressor, and you might be asking, what the heck is it? So this has one baffle in the front of it here, and then it has a little spacer, kind of like this, actually exactly like this, and little rubber discs, washers, whatever you want to call them, on either side. And how a wipe suppressor works is, instead of having an open bore and a bunch of baffles coming up it like your typical suppressor, it uses these discs where the bullet passes through and they essentially reseal themselves to help contain and cool all of the gases. Now what that means is that while your suppressor only lasts for a limited amount of shots before you wear these out, you can have a much smaller package with a much greater sound suppression level than if you tried to do this with a traditional style suppressor with just a big old bore hole going right through the middle.
Yeah, like it's so we're just at the end of our.
We're going on to mag 3. Point the front end at the. So
now it looks like a
butthole.
For left.
Let's try mag 3.
Then, to further increase your sound suppression, you can use an ablative material inside of there, which is going to help cool down your gases rapidly. You could use anything from water. This is where people get the name firing the suppressor wet comes from. Water, various oils. I've seen suppressor foam. I personally use Vaseline. Now, Vaseline doesn't quite work as well as something lighter like water, but with this being something that you can conceal carry, I just pack it in there and it's not going to drip out, it's not going to run, it's just going to stay in place until I end up using it. So while it may not be the quietest option to use, it is a very good long-term solution. I can just pack it and forget about it. Now, why have a wipe suppressor in general, right? Well, this is more like, you know, a handgun that you can carry, a handgun that you're not really going to be blasting 50, 100, 200, 250 rounds at a time. This is something where, you know, you're in a real bad moment and you need that thing and you're going to be firing, you know, 2 to 7 rounds. I've had these baffles, wipes, last about 20 shots in the short configuration, and if you run it on the long configuration, it gets a hell of a lot quieter. You're burning through a little bit more wipes at a time, but we've gotten it all the way up to 45 rounds. So they last a decent bit of time before you need to change them. But again, they're nothing like your standard steel, titanium, whatever, traditional style suppressor.
30 rounds through this set of wipes and still trucking. Back up. There you go. Step forward.
Oh, my bad.
I really would have thought these wipes would be done by now.
I did too. As you train, like, as you shoot, just like a little better with the manual parts of it.
Yeah.
Science, I guess. Yeah, I'd say we're,
Now I'm ringing.
yeah, I'm ringing.
How many wipes are there?
So empty, so we have 2 rounds in that, so that was 13. So that's 43 shots for a set of wipes.
43 shots to start ringing.
43, yeah.
Now, sound level while firing your suppressor in this configuration. Not going to say that it is the quietest, but it really takes the edge off. Now, if you weren't wearing ear pro, you probably get a little bit of hearing discomfort, especially if you're running it on semi. But it is light years quieter than an unsuppressed pistol. So this isn't something that you take out and you just shoot all day. This is a very quick, I need something, and you already have it on you, and you don't want to completely blow your eardrums out. You get the benefit of having something like this, something small, compact, concealable, and it really takes that edge off for you. Now, you may be saying, if you know something about wipe suppressors, Vance, you can't shoot hollow points, so what's the point of using this in a defense situation? And that's not true. You can fire hollow points through a wipe suppressor. I've done it. The issue is that most hollow points kind of just cut a hole straight through, and your wipes end up lasting like 2-3 shots. Granted, that's great for a self-defense scenario, but not the best. So I went looking around, and I did find the G2 9mm ammo is not only subsonic, it's got a kind of a tapered hollow point at the end, but that core is filled. And I tried those out, and they work just like an FMJ.
I've tried some hollow points before in this, and it blew out the wipes in one shot. I found these Spear G2s, which have a very shallow hollow point. They're barely considered hollow, and I must want to say hot glue, something inside of there. And I want to see if it lets these wipes last a little bit longer. So we'll run this slide locked at first. So, it's already lasted longer than the normal hollow points. I'm gonna say it's good, and let's just see if they, at that point, starting to get a little bit loud, the slide lock. And I'll say that that's probably, we almost made it a whole mag. We're at 14 out of 15. Not bad.
So they made the wipes last. They were subsonic, which helped with a lot of the noise, and overall, it's just something that when I carry this is what I'm going to use with that. Makes the suppressor last longer, works very well. But if you're thinking that these things are going to expand inside of your suppressor and cause a problem, it's not. The little rubber disc isn't going to do damage to your suppressor. It's not going to hold up your hollow point enough that it starts to expand. Being honest, you know, most people always debate on how effective hollow points are at expanding anyway. If you think that this little thing is going to stop it right mid, you know, suppressor, you're wrong. It's just not happening. Let's talk wipes, right? So you can get wipes from B&T, and they are a little bit pricey. And the issue with wipe suppressors is that you're wearing these things out, and the ATF considers each wipe a baffle. Now, you're not allowed to have spare suppressor parts, but you are allowed to do repairs to your own suppressor. So don't take any of this as legal advice, as I am not an attorney or performing any legal duties for anyone watching this. But from my understanding, if you wear out your wipes, you can destroy them and then replace them for the amount that you would have. So for something like this, you could replace the 2 wipes in there, and for the extension, you could replace all of the wipes that would go into your extension. You're not allowed to have spares. You're not allowed to have extras. Now, it is quite nuts how these things look like little pads that you could put on the bottom of chairs so they don't scratch the floor and make noise. That's completely unrelated. But you are able to make your own wipes, which I have done here, and actually what I've done here. And I decided to do a little bit of testing myself and figure out, if I don't have the time or patience to constantly order new ones from the factory, if I use this a lot, what's the best way to make my own? What's the best material to use while making my own? And, how well does it actually compare? After looking online, finding some forums, finding some articles on making these wipes, I found that most of that information was bogus and wrong. So starting, I had gotten myself a 1/4-inch punch and a sheet of this 60A silicone from Amazon and went about it. 1/4-inch was way too small and this 60A sheet too soft. These wipes blew out incredibly fast. Don't even waste your time.
That got loud really fast. I don't think it's a good material for it.
Let me hear. Let me hear.
Yeah.
And because that happened, I got a little hyper-focused on the situation and decided to keep figuring out what works best. From 70, 80 to 90A, even 95A materials, from silicone, neoprene, polyurethane, and trying to figure out what is the best. And found some pretty good results.
We made it past the silicone.
Okay. Still doing good.
So while YouTube has strict guidelines on what I can and can't show, I won't be able to show you how to make a wipe, but what I can do is tell you what I did and how it worked. So first, get yourself a little piece of plastic cutting board, get yourself a mallet, get yourself a punch, a center punch, just like this, and for the Hush Puppy suppressor, 27mm diameter is going to be what fits this perfect. Not 1/4-inch, not 28mm, 27mm fit the baffles absolutely perfect. Now, what you do is then get yourself a sheet of 70 or 80A neoprene. Anywhere in between there that you can find. It seemed to be the best performing material and the most cost effective. You can get a sheet of this for about $180 and be able to make about 1,500 wipes. Now, if you don't want to make 1,500 wipes, you can get these even smaller. Like this sheet was $30 and I've got, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You could probably make about 100 wipes out of this $30 sheet. Now, getting the X into your wipes, right? There was 2 ways to go about it. So first, I had these X-Acto blades with the little flat tip push knife kind of style, and I just straight up cut X's just like the factory wipes had in them. And that worked pretty good. The other option that we have is I found myself a 1/4-inch chisel, and this option was a lot faster, where I would just punch out a wipe, lay the chisel down, and just hammer that X right on into it. When you do this, though, you need to try to make that X as close to the center as possible. And while it sounds like it's an easy thing to do, sometimes they're a little bit off. And if it's a little bit off, your wipes are going to blow out differently, and typically they don't last nearly as long. So accuracy is key when it comes to making something like this. But as I got into that, I also saw that somebody had a 3D file on a wipe cutter. And that got me thinking, am I able to 3D print wipes at all? Which is something that you see here, where the X is already printed into it, and find out, will a 3D printed wipe actually work? I tried everything from a 72 or 82 TPE, something very low, 85 TPU, and 95 TPU. And what I found after I printed these, surprisingly, is that 85 TPU actually worked really well. Anything from an 80% and above infill, I was getting about 20 shots using the short configuration, which is close, neck and neck, with what the factory wipes were performing. So if you do have yourself a 3D printer and you want to go through the hassle of printing yourself TPU, as long as you just make yourself this little design, you can have them pre-cut and everything. Just print them out, and there's your replacements. Easy peasy.
Quietest off the rip.
Yep.
Got quieter.
Quieter. Still quiet.
I might have a winner here.
Little hiss there.
And I'll either be, I guess, I don't really know if I need to share the file. These are really, really simple to make. I mean, you're looking at a 1/4 inch thickness. I think I went like 26.9 millimeter diameter, and then just put your little 1/4 inch X right in there with a, 1/10 of a millimeter gap, just so it doesn't completely fill it in. Press print and let it go. And TPU is a little bit hard to print, but you try a few times, you'll mess up. Once you get it figured out, it's smooth sailing from there. So, my overall experience with this thing, well, one, I've never had a Glock before. I've never really liked Glocks before, and maybe it's just because it's a Gen 5, but I actually really do enjoy this thing. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And of course, you can take this off, and if you wanted to do some training and a lot of other shooting, you could just put a normal suppressor on the end, and you could just put a brake on the end. You can put a comp. You can do really whatever. At the end of the day, it's still a Glock. You can change the trigger. You can change the mag releases. Everything that you can do to the Honda Civic of firearms, you can do to this Hush Puppy. Really, all the special features are that slide lock, the acro cut, and the different markings. The suppressor design itself is just like a new take on an old kind of forgotten design, but I think it's got some room in the modern world now, especially since the cost of tax stamps are gone. That being said, this does have a metric threaded barrel, so if you are going to use a different style suppressor for training, make sure you get yourself that 13.5 left-hand piston booster if your suppressor needs a booster. This one does not because it's so light. But, we can now holster it, we can conceal it. We really just stepped up what the concealed carry game is. Not only that, I mean, with the fancy box, just the whole setup in general, it just makes you look cool. And due to that metric thread pitch, you also aren't limited to just using it on a Glock. Here, I ran it on the 226 for a good bit of time, and I had a lot of fun. It's tiny, it's small, it's lightweight. It's like you don't have a suppressor on the end, but you're getting the added benefit of having some sort of suppressor there. So for the cost of the package, for you to get the lock slide, the acro cut, the suppressor, the case, the extra mags, the suppressor extension, the tools, overall really not a bad deal for something like this. You put it into perspective, all the things that you get, and it starts to kind of make sense. And, as I never was a Glock fanboy before, this might be changing my mind a little bit. I've actually been putting a lot of rounds through this thing and really having a blast. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Please check out CQC Close Quarters Carry Holsters. The fact that this guy jumped out of line to be able to make this for me, absolutely fantastic. He did a stellar job. This thing is great. And when nobody else would, he took it on and then apologized for it taking more than 2 hours. Comment, share, like, and follow. Tell us what we did great. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us how we're wrong. It doesn't really matter. It all just kind of helps out. But It's all your support of you guys watching us is why we get to do things like this and why we end up purchasing these things for ourselves just to beat on. This is one where specifically I'm definitely keeping this. I'm having a good time. I'm going to carry it around for quite a while, and thus something else comes to replace it.
Can we run supers through these used wipes and be alright? Find out. That's a little loud. That one's a little loud.